Hello, first year experience students. I'm going to give a little bit of an outline of the assignments for this week. So, if you scroll down to October 12th through October 18th, you'll see you have two assignments for this week, and they both have to do with building your resume. So, the first one I'm going to click into is the resume outline worksheet. It says click here to access the worksheet. And once you do that, you're going to have to download this as a Word document. You're not going to be able to fill this out in Google Docs. So go ahead and click download. And then when you open up this file, it's going to be a fillable um, Word document. So you're going to have to click enable editing. And some of you might have a resume and you can use information from that, but we're really looking to make your resume a spectacular one. So we're going to sort of start from scratch and build it and create a really good resume. So you're going to go ahead and fill out this worksheet with all this information. And this will be all the information that we then add to your resume. So there are six sections of your resume that I'm going to require you to add to it. One is going to be the heading. Two is going to be your education information. The third one is any certificates or licenses that you might have. You might not have any of those, but if you have CPR, first aid, anything like that. If anybody's taking the pesticide applicator training course in the spring, hopefully you'll obtain your pesticide applicator license, and that'll be something you can add to your resume, especially if you're in horticulture or crop science. That will be really valuable for work in those places, in those areas. Then any workplace experience or internships that you have had. All jobs count. They don't have to be related to agriculture. Within that section, you're looking at the responsibilities that you had and any accomplishments. There's a distinguishing this responsibilities are different from accomplishments. So responsibilities, maybe if you worked at a fast food place, would be like serving customers, um, or cleaning the dining area or things like that. And accomplishments, you may or may not have accomplishments depending on what types of jobs you've had in the past. But accomplishments are like, you increased sales, or you um, increased profit or increased herd size or things like that. So what accomplishment is more measurable than a responsibility. Okay. So just kind of use your brain, and we're going to look at some examples too to help you figure some of that out. And then community involvement. So any volunteer organizations, any sporting activities that you were in, maybe FFA, maybe 4-H. This includes volunteer work, extracurricular activities, or any professional organizations that you're a part of. Unfortunately, we don't really have an active ag club, but otherwise, all of you would be able to put ag club this year. And we haven't been able to do much with ag club this year, so that won't probably be on most of your resumes at this point. And then any honors or awards that you've received, these would, probably at this point primarily come from high school. They can be scholarships, or just any other awards that you've been given. So list those there. And then, going back to the community involvement, activities, responsibilities, or accomplishments there. So similar to your work experiences, what did you do? So if you're a member of 4-H, what did you do in 4-H? Accomplishments can be like if you're given any awards during 4-H, those could be listed there too. So you might have two different sections that you could put awards, and then when we draft your resume, we'll figure out the best place to put it. Okay, so that's your assignment one, is completing this worksheet. Flood this with information, as much information as you can, and then we can pick and choose what we want to put on the resume. So that is assignment number one. Assignment number two is actually creating a draft of your resume. So taking that information and creating a draft. I have given you some examples of previous students and their resumes. This is just going to help you, one, format in a way that is going to be readable and sharp and attractive. And then it's also going to help you with that responsibility and achievement section. So for each job that you have, as well as for extracurricular activities, you're going to have these accomplishment statements. These are the parts that I really want you to, I want you to make sure that you take a look at all of these resumes and read through these accomplishment statements, because that's really telling what you did, kind of why you did it, and what was the result. We're going to have some more specific instruction on creating accomplishment statements next week in class, but for now, I want you to look at these accomplishment statements and do your best to create accomplishment statements that are as solid and well written as some of these examples. So this is just one example, and you can see how he listed his extracurricular activities out like this and his academic accomplishments and awards out like that. Um, there's other examples too that are different than that. So let's look at this one. So we can see that she listed her extracurricular activities out like she did her professional experience and then created accomplishment statements for each of those. That's what I recommend doing, creating those accomplishment statements for each of the extracurricular activities as well, as opposed to listing them out. So make sure you're doing that. And then just kind of follow these formats with the dates on the right hand side and the, the title of the position that you had and the city and state and so on. Most of these resumes are formatted very similarly, because they were all created in this class, and that's how I want them formatted. Okay, so I'll take a look at one more here. A little bit different with some font size and so on, but you can see dates and other things as they are listed. So give your best shot at creating a resume. This will be your first draft. We'll probably have at least 3 drafts before we get it to tip-top shape, excellent condition to be ready to turn into an employer. So those are the 2 assignments this week. Continue to work on interviewing your professionals for the career profile or the career planning project. Sorry. Continue to interview those people, get a hold of them, because you'll have your first interview report due on October 27th, which is a couple weeks away. Okay. All right. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and good luck for this week.